Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday night. It is the Metal Summit, and most importantly, it's Rockin Pod Week. We are continuing on with our Rockin Pod like coverage and kind of like precursors and pre-shows and pre-celebration. As always, we are your Island of Misfit Toys. We've got Angel. We've got Bobby. We've got the Psycho Steve. I'm Jay. More importantly than all of us, we have our guest. He will be at Rockin Pod. He's tearing things up with his band Native Sons. We have Ashton Blake. How are you, brother?
I'm doing fine. How are you guys? It's good to see you.
Good. Doing great, man. Doing great. Great to see you too, man. The last time that we saw you, that I know that Bobby and Angel saw you as well, as you were playing the BLE event.
Yep. Kicking Valentina, Steel City, Wild America, Stairway to Halen. Those were all some great bands that we got to open for. So really grateful for Bradley Entertainment.
Yeah, man, absolutely, for sure. So we talked so before we get into all like the fun nitty gritty stuff about, performing right now and what we got going for Rockin Pod. So you guys had a little bit of a touring adventure on your way to the BLE show, but you and I spoke off the air that you had gotten everything taken care of. You guys have a new set of wheels and you are ready to just kind of keep on cruising.
Yeah, we got a van. It's an Econoline. It's a 1999 low mileage. It gets the job done. We took it to Nebraska to play with the Midnight Devils, and it went to Kansas City, and it went to we took it to Richmond, Virginia. We played another Round Bar and Grill up there. It's a club in Richmond, Virginia. So hoping to be back there next year.
Nice, man. That's absolutely, for sure. So we've got Rockin Pod coming up in T-minus 2 days. You are going to be a part of it, both with interviews, but you're also going to be performing an acoustic set as well. But you also have a plugged-in show on Sunday. So talk a little bit about what you've got going as far as your involvement with Rockin Pod.
Well, I think we got a booth set up, and we're going to do some meet and greets and stuff like that. Some interviews, 15-minute interviews throughout the whole day, and then somewhere around noon, I think we're doing I'm not sure if it's going to be like a private acoustic show or if they're going to let everybody view it. They didn't give us much information on that. They just told us where to be. They kind of. We'll tell us there, but we're going to be doing that. Then Sunday, we're going to be playing with Steel City, Every Mother's Nightmare, a band called Evolved, and Asphalt Valentine at a bar there that a few of my friends have played called The End. It's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, so.
That's awesome, man. That's going to be super duper cool for sure. So I know that myself, Brad, and Angie are still going to be in town for that as well, and Angel will be there as well. I think Bobby, you're escaping on Sunday at some point, but you're in Nashville right now, brother. So why don't we kick it to you next and bring in that Nashville vibe?
Man, I just got back from downtown. I'm just keeping the party going.
What could you have possibly found downtown that could be interesting?
Well, artist that I'm working with down there, she was performing over at Old Red, so I had to go see her. Wound up Gibson's building me a guitar, which is got to give them a big shout out right now, and had a meeting over there. So. Just a lot of things. Nashville's just a big old party town. It's like New Orleans without the dirt.
Absolutely, for sure. So let's absolutely keep it rolling.
We got a big pre-party tomorrow night at 6:00, so it should be a lot of fun. And everything's going. People are starting to roll in now, so the bar downstairs is a little active. So I said, I give me 2 road sodas to come up here.
Nice.
So it'll be that kind of weekend.
That it will, man. That it will. Let's keep it rolling.
What's look?
Yeah. No, absolutely, brother. So, Bobby, let's keep it rolling with you, man.
So I got to ask. So you're based out of Ashton? Where are you based out of? Where is the Native Sons based from?
We're based out of Louisville, Kentucky, which is about 2 hours and 30 minutes away from Nashville. It might be a little
Well, I got to
less.
ask. A really cool thing. So, good friends of mine play in another band from the Kentucky area, Blackstone Cherry. Have you guys ever had a chance to tour together or do any shows together?
No, we haven't had a chance to play with those guys. Native Sons has only been a band for probably about 4 months. The
Wow.
album's been recorded for 3 years. So we've definitely been rising fast. So I'm really humbled and excited to be a part of everything we got going
Very
on.
cool. So everybody can
really
catch
cool to get in.
It would be really cool to see a couple, Kentucky bands, Kentucky Headhunters.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Absolutely, man, for sure. So, with Native Sons only being together for 4 months, but you're talking about this, this core group of what we know as Native Sons now. But you've had the album out for like a little while. Talk a little bit just in general about having this group together and who you're playing with, but also really now, since you've got such a solid group behind you, really being able to push the album solidly now.
Yeah, well, I looked into the guitar player Mike Bowman and the bass player Travis Meredith. Super amazing musicians, all around great guys. They've been, touring. Travis is a part of death metal bands and he plays funk music too. So he goes around the spectrum. So it's really cool to be writing with him. He's a guitar player as well, so he writes some of the newer riffs that we've got. We'll probably have some new songs for Monsters on the Mountain. Mike Bowman, also great guitar player. They played in several bands together in the past. So it's really, I was lucky to have those two because, they work so well together because of their history of other bands like Edgar Red and Dead Room Cult and some other local bands here that have toured around the regional area in a different kind of circuit. So it's really, really cool to be working with those guys.
Nice, man. That's really, really awesome. So sticking with the new record and getting out and about and touring and everything like that, talk a little bit about your involvement with Highball Music. You've got, them repped on your chest at the moment there as well, but talk a little bit about how you got involved with Bill.
Well, I think it was to really explain that story. I'd have to tell you. I was living in Michigan at the time, and this band called Modern Superstar rolls through town, and I meet Rich Green from the Bullet Boys and Lorenzo Del Vecchi, which you probably know those guys.
I do.
And I talked to Rich off and on for a few years, and then he brought me into this project called Saints of Rebellion. We started writing songs and doing, about to record a CD, and that's how I really met Bill. Is that Bill was putting together Saints of Rebellion. I didn't end up being the main singer on that. There was some creative differences between me and the bass player, I think, and I just, stepped away. But it was still a cool writing process. I would go on to, play in front of a frontman, Modern Superstar for a while. Sorry. Me and Rich has been in a lot of projects together. New Machine, which ended up turning into Native Sons. We recorded the album. He's actually the drummer on the Natives Are Restless album as well. So that's really how I met Bill is through working with musicians that were on his label, just filling in as a hired gun, doing vocals, rhythm guitar work, stuff like that.
Nice, man. That's really really cool for sure. And so far, how have you felt when it comes to like being involved, with the label and everything like that? Everybody speaks so highly of you. They also make it sound very very much like everything's been going so well, and similar to what we were talking about with relationships in bands, just like relationships with members of like sports teams. It's always got to feel really good when you've got like a solid label. So how has it just kind of felt overall with that partnership?
Well, I've been with Bill since I was 19. I'm 28 now, so I would say the partnership has been really well.
Yeah.
On that aspect of things, Bill and Lori are family to me, and it's really cool to work with that kind of unit because that's kind of what Native Sons is. We're a big family, and to have a label that's kind of the same way that works hands on with us the way they do. It's just been a blessing to work with Bill, and it's been a blessing to work with Lori. I'm sure Lori does the PR work mostly on all the stuff as well as Sherry. But it's just been a real treat to work with Bill and to be on. I've been blessed to be on a label for as long as I have. Some people wouldn't have taken a chance on a 19-year-old kid, who wanted to, be a rock star. And
Sure.
as much as the good stuff that has happened, there's still a lot of uphill battles that we have to fight, and I feel like we're gonna take them with strides, and we're gonna work together, and we're gonna treat it like a family would.
Nice, man. That's super duper awesome, man. And speaking of family, let's bring in another member of our family. Let's bring in the hottie with the bottle of Jackie, Angel.
Hey, how's it going?
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Oh man, when you got a fly spirit, this is all you can do.
That's all right, dude.
Okay, we're gonna go to some fan questions. The first one, we're gonna have a handful of candy. Somebody I lost a bet to, so I gotta pay up when we get to Rockin Pot. You gotta remind me what it is, candy. Okay, and here's her question: what are you most looking forward to about being at Rockin Pot this year?
I would say, meeting a lot of the people that are going to be there. Mostly the fans. Getting interaction with the fans is really what I like. Because that's what it's about. Meeting the people that your music has inspired, and the people that buy the CDs and keep you out on tour. That's what I'm most excited about is getting to meet a lot of different people. Plus, getting to play that acoustic set is going to be really nice as well. Getting to show a different dynamic to Native Sons. We haven't done an acoustic set besides Rock the Block, which was like a live stream thing. But I really think that the Rockin Pod is going to show a different dynamic to Native Sons on that aspect.
Cool. Get to the next question. This question is from Jeannie, who will also be at Rockin Pot this weekend. Will you be changing the set list up at all?
Yeah, I think we will. I think there's some. We've added new songs, so we might play a few new ones, maybe. Right now we're pushing the record, so we're trying to, get the, push as much songs on the record as possible. But I think we definitely will change up the set for the acoustic. Yeah. So the answer would be yes.
Cool. Now we have a question from Susan. She wants to know: have you ever played in Canada, or any plans to
I have
play
not played
in Canada?
I would love to play in Canada. It would be really cool. I think it's a beautiful country. I've seen a lot of pictures of up near Alaska, and I know Alaska's still America, but I've seen a lot of pictures of Canada. I've never been blessed enough to go there, but I would love to go to Canada. That would be awesome.
And my question is, what is there any artist, any record, or any song that you heard and you just jumped up and you'd be like, you know what, that's what I want to do.
There was I think it came gradually for me. Whenever I was 12, I got my first guitar, but I would say Poison was the very first one that I seen as a front man, Brett Michaels jumping around and as energetic, and he just seemed very personal with his fans, and that's, I guess that's the kind of person I looked up to growing up. But listening to Thin Lizzy and listening to Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses, and a lot of different styles of music has inspired me to do different things and try to think outside the box when it comes to vocals and laying down tracks and stuff like that. So I would say, to give you a direct answer, it would be Bret Michaels from Poison. Seeing him for the first time on a little CD my mom had, a live concert of them, and I had a VHS tape of Black Sabbath. They from I think it was 1968 to 1981. I watched that on repeat a lot.
Okay. We have a question from April. April wants to know. Let me bring it up. Here we go. If you could open for any band, who would that be?
Oh man, that's a hard question. I would say if I could open for any band, I would have to say Tom Kiefer from Cinderella.
Nice.
I would really like to meet Tom. I think he has a really cool sound to him. I listened to the last record he put out, which was phenomenal. I think his wife even helped out on writing some of the songs, but even his B stuff, like that, the mainstream wouldn't think, was a hit. I loved, all the bluesy riffs that he had. His hits were cool too. I loved to listen to Push Push and to listen to, Shelter, but there was a few songs that I listened to that I was like, man, this is a really great guitar player and really great singer. So, him, I would have to say it would be really cool to open for Tom Kiefer.
Oh, awesome. I think we got Steve.
I'm here.
Right on, my bro.
I just got pulled over because they thought I was somebody else. That's why I had to sign off for a second. Sorry about that.
Nah, no worries, dude. Are you
Mistaken identity? It's pretty interesting. I'm like, I look like almost every Jew that lives in this town. What are you talking about?
There's
right, so-
there's only one Psycho Steve, dude.
That's always
Exactly.
forget. You should have told him, yeah, I'm that guy from the Metal Summit. I know, I look like him. I get that
Actually,
a lot.
I told them, they're like, you seem a little distracted. I'm like, I'm on a show right now. And they're like, and you're driving? I'm like, yes, all the people crazy. Please let me go. Here's my family member card. Have a good evening. There you go. All right. So my question is, how did the name come about? How did the name Native Sons come about? Like,
yeah. It was Bill Chavis came up with the name. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but Bill is he's got his blood work done. I think he's 50% Native American. He's a Native American run business now. He's got his certificate. So he picked the name because of his heritage, and I thought it was a brilliant name because my family's Cherokee. We founded one of the towns that I now live in, Taylorsville. They named us the Chessers. My grandmother had a great uncle who never had a last name. His name was just Red, and that's what they called him. So it was like, whenever Bill was like in Native Sons, I was like, you know what, that's that's perfect because it touches on my heritage and his heritage, and I'm sure a lot of other people's heritage, and it was just something that really spoke to me. So, that's how the name came about. Bill brought it up to me, and I think we kind of chose it together. So
Awesome. So, what tribe of Indian are you from?
Cherokee, we're from Kentucky.
Awesome.
So a lot of Cherokees were around Kentucky in the Ohio Valley.
Right. That's really awesome. You're the first American Indian that, So, how many generation are you? Like, do you still have family that? Because you have your tribe of Cherokee. Is there an actual reservation or anything like that you live on,
No,
or your family still lives on?
No, we don't live on a reservation. I don't know how much Indian I am, but I know that my great grandmother, who died at 98 years old, her mother was full-blooded Indian. She married an Irishman. So I've never done my blood work. I know that my family is my grandmother's side is mostly Cherokee descendants. My mom's side is mostly English and Scottish. My dad's side is definitely English. They know more about their history than I think the Colemans and the Chesters do. But I know that we do have a lot of Native American heritage in our family, and we do have some people that were full-blooded Native Americans that. Unfortunately, she passed away. I think in 2010. She was 98 years old.
God bless. Sorry for your loss. But that's pretty amazing.
It's
Well, he is the first, guys.
She lived a really long time.
You are the first Native American guest on our show, so that's a first also. An exclusive.
Absolutely, man, 100%. This show is for absolutely everybody, and we would not have it any other way for sure. Speaking of people who don't take it any other way, how about that Bobby Dreyer guy?
He only takes it one way. Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry. Go ahead.
Bobby, you got to turn your mic back on, buddy.
You're on mute.
I thought the noise was me, but then we found out that somebody else. So really cool. So we're doing a show tomorrow with Lillian Axe in Georgia. And then you're coming here.
We're leaving out here probably about 7 a.m.
Ooh, road tripping. So you're going there.
We'll probably go back to Louisville, Kentucky.
And then you're going to be doing Friday night. You're on Broadway for Rockin Pot. Now, are you guys doing 2 shows Friday night?
No, we're just doing the Rockin Pot. We're going to be there all day and meeting with people, and we have a show this night.
Yeah, because I seen that the one with Ron Keel. You're doing the Mercy Lounge Friday night, correct?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's all doing the acoustic thing. They don't really tell us. I don't think. I've seen some of the lineup. I think he was supposed to do an acoustic thing. I know he's playing somewhere else too. So I'm not sure which show you're talking about, but we're going to be at the end on Sunday. I know we're just doing Rockin Pot on Friday.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys were doing a separate gig as well downtown. At 6 o'clock, it had you down for it.
I don't think so, but
It's always the singer that finds out last. See that?
Yeah, it's always they just tell me where to be, man. They don't tell me like they're just like getting the bus, man.
It'll be fun. Don't sweat it.
Right on, dude. Right on, for sure. So
Yeah,
when it comes to like,
yeah,
so when it comes to like how you have Native Sons set up with everything that you've got coming up, from performing with Lillian Axe to performing with Rockin Pot to the upcoming Monsters in the Mountain show that's involved with Monsters of Rock Cruise, how are you kind of visualizing the trajectory of Native Sons? Like, are you trying to kind of work it on like just a steady up climb, or do you really want it to like take off as high as you can and then build from right there? How are you kind of visualizing how you want to see Native Sons go?
Well, when I started it, it was about getting the music out there, and that's all I wanted to do. Really, is just get my songs to a level where people can hear them. It's really up to people on how far we can go, but I'm willing to take this as far as I can. And as far as building it, we are who we are, and as far as the show's only going to get better as the as the big get. But I want to, I got into this for the fans and to create music, and that's exactly what I want to do is create more music and connect deeper with my fans on a personal level. So it's like people really decide on how big you're going to be. Guns N' Roses would be nothing if it weren't for the people to get behind Appetite Destruction. Same with all the great bands. So,
Sure.
I'm willing to take it as far as I can with,
Nice.
It's definitely an uphill battle. So I would have to say, to your question, it would be both. It's like,
Yeah.
It's it's a slow climb, but if it gets me, further, like you said, like to that platform of like, okay, now we're here, I'm definitely ready for it. It's something that I want to keep the Bret Michaels mentality of, the fans are the most important thing. And I'm honored to be a part of Monsters on the Mountain. I feel like Tesla's the same way. They're very, personal with their fan base, and the guys all the guys on Monsters on the Mountain, they're there because the fans want them to be there. They're there because they're professionals in their field, and it's an honor to be a part of that.
Absolutely, for sure. And also to touch back a little bit on what some of the fans were asking about, like, Native Sons music and getting to hear like new songs and stuff like that. You had mentioned that this version of Native Sons, as we have known for the last 4 months and from currently here on out, with the record being done, for 3 years now, like you said, what's your current plan for putting out another album? Are you looking to keep kind of rolling with the current album so that everybody can get familiar with the lineup of the band? Or do you have plans for the near future to get some new recorded music out?
Oh, we definitely want to keep recording and keep writing. We have 3 new songs. Well, if they make the record, I'm not sure. Bill and me pick the songs. Bill and us as Native Sons pick the songs of what's going to be on the next album. But we're currently writing. We have probably about 10 songs. You can write 20 songs, but 10 of them get on the album. So it's really just I want to have a new record out by March 12th. That's my personal goal. That's when we recorded. That's when we released The Natives Are Restless. So I want to kind of be like Kiss in a way where they release it on the same day every year. They release 2 a year or something like that. So I'm not going to do 2, but it'll probably be on March 12th. I want to get into the studio around November. So we are currently writing and doing new songs for the next album.
Nice. Right on, man, for sure. Let's kick it up to Angel and the fans. How are you still doing, my good dude? And how are the Metal Summoners doing?
I'm still awesome. I definitely got a good question from Kim Sullivan. She wants to know, can you introduce your new drummer?
Our new drummer.
Yep.
Well, I think I can. You know, a lot of people have probably been asking about that. There's been some people asking about that. Our new drummer is Jose Gonzalez. He's a phenomenal drummer. He's been in several projects with me over the past year. We did a tribute to Dio together. You know, we were building it right around the time that before Native Sons got formed. So when Native Sons took off, we kind of shelved that. But when the drummer position opened up, Jose, you know, he was just a perfect fit. He is in the military. He's an active duty Army here in Kentucky. So we do have some fill-in spots for other guys because he is still in the Army. But he's a phenomenal drummer. He will be on Monsters on the Mountain. He will be in Masquerade. Ooh. And he's committed to all of the dates this year that we have so far. So I think there's Lillian Axe. We have a really, really good fill-in position. We've been working with him for the past few months, anticipating this. So it's going to be an amazing show tomorrow. I think people are going to be thoroughly impressed with what Jose can do. Come Monsters on the Mountain. He's actually, you can go on the Facebook page. He's the one playing Holy Diver with us and Radar Love. We covered those two songs this last Friday. He played at Rock the Block. Phenomenal. Can't wait to continue playing with the guy. He's just a well-rounded musician.
Nice. That's awesome.
Cool. And here we have a whiskey question from Arturo. He wants to know, what is your favorite, I know I mispronounced this word, bourbon whiskey? Yeah, what's your favorite whiskey? What's your favorite whiskey?
Whiskey? Bourbon
yep.
Whiskey?
Yep.
I would have to say that I'm not much of a whiskey guy.
Arturo, you got to flip
it. Guy. I know I'm from Kentucky, and a lot of people are like, well, you gotta...
That's all right, dude. No worries. Arturo, thank you so much for chiming in, brother. Well, what do you like to drink, brother?
I'd have to say, I like to say rum. Rum is my go-to. Captain Morgan. I've been drinking a lot of, I think it's called Lady Blight. That's what I've been drinking lately. But the Kraken, if I want something more of a spicy, I guess, it's a darker rum. So.
Hell yeah, dude. For sure. I'm definitely familiar with the Kraken and definitely love my rum as well. Angel, keep rolling with it, my good dude.
More stuff I gotta try.
You know.
Candy wants to know, who inspires you to be the best? Whether it's a musician, whether it's somebody that just is influential to you.
Well, I'd have to say there's a local guy here in Louisville. He doesn't live in Louisville anymore, but you know, he's taught me a lot over the years. His name's Dave Moody. He used to be the bass player for Billy Ray Cyrus, and he was signed to Bill's label for a metal band. And he's kind of, you know, he does a lot of tribute work now, but he used to be an original musician, and he's kind of giving me some kind of pointers for live shows, you know, as far as how to be better on stage. And I like the constructive criticism he could give because, you know, he's managed a few bands before, so he knows a thing or two. But I would have to say that between him and locally, and as far as any famous musician, I would have to say Tom Kiefer. His story inspired me. He wanted to drop out of high school, but his mom and dad told him if you finish, they'd buy him a guitar, and he lived out of his car. And they played that one bar, and he was like, we definitely won over that crowd. But when Bon Jovi walked in and took him on tour, it was all about the dream. And to me, like that was the most rock and roll way to become a rock star. And his story was just inspiring to me, at least.
Awesome. Like I said, I definitely hope you meet him, because I've met him, and just one of the nicest people that you can meet. And he's up in our area as well, in South Jersey, so I'm really familiar with his early roots. Here's another question for you. How do you prepare for a show as far as your voice goes? Do you do any scales, any warm-ups to warm up your voice for a show?
Well, I would say that the show itself is a warm up for me. It's like you climb a ladder, so that's why when that other question, will the set change? It's like it will, but it'll some songs will just be shuffled around. I do some warm ups here at the house. Just to get the juices flowing. But I guess no, I don't really do anything super special. So as long as you got monitors, you can much hear yourself and gauge on how hard to push and how not to overdo it.
Awesome. Back to you, Jay.
Yeah, no worries, brother. Absolutely, for sure. Well, let's bring back our beloved rule breaker and speed driver and cop botherer in Psycho Steve.
So, OJ, I'm just saying. Okay, so the question is, you brought up the drummer being a good friend and everything. How did you guys meet? Were you guys friends in high school, or did Bill put the band together?
As far as the other members or just the drummer, I guess I could just answer it all. I reached out to a member here in Louisville that I was good friends with, Matt Moore from Edgar Red, and I said, because Bill was like, find your band and then I'll put out your album. And we actually had a different lineup in the beginning when we first put it out, but I think what happened is they didn't anticipate how much people would love this album as they did. And my goal was only to put out the album and get it heard, but they couldn't tour. So I ended up asking my buddy, Matt Moore, if he knew any musicians. He turned me on to Mike Bowman. And then Mike was like, well, I got this guy that I've been friends with for years, Travis Meredith, he'd come in. So then we had Brett for a while, not going to go into it, but it's, some things just don't work out. It's fine. It's I wish him the best, and he's going to do great things, I think. But Jose is a guy that we had tried to do a classic metal tribute. We were doing stuff like Black Sabbath, Planet Caravan, Dio, Neon Night, Don Fedler's heavy metal. So I was going to try to do something along those lines, but then Bill approached me about Native Sons to put out the album. So whenever this took off like it did, that was shelved and put to the side. But then whenever we needed a new drummer, I approached Jose about it, and he was all about it. He actually had learned the album because he was a fan. So himself is going to be a good musician because he loves the music, and he's putting his own soul into the music, and it's just made us a better band, I think.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nah, for sure, man. That's definitely a cool one for sure, because it's definitely having that strength and chemistry, and it's really really cool that he had gone out of his way, from being a fan and digging the tunes to already jamming out on them, and stuff like that for sure. So Ashton, you've talked about got having Lillian acts coming up tomorrow. You got Rockin Pot this weekend, and you've got Monsters on the Mountain coming up in October. What else do you have that you can kind of like let us know about, like Native Sons? I had seen a video that you did earlier today that you guys just recently picked up a Maryland show, from my understanding. And besides that, what else can you tell us about fans being able to see you guys live right now?
Well, we have a few dates in Kentucky right now, but we're going to be in North Carolina in the end of August 20th. The 21st, you can see us in Dayton, Ohio. We've got dates. But Zen West, that's actually right around the Brad Lee show. I encourage people to go to all three of the Brad Lee days. But November 6th, you'll get a chance because we're playing on a Thursday. I know some people can't get out on Thursdays. I'm not sure if it's a holiday, but we'll be at Zen West in November 6th. That's on a Friday. So I encourage everybody to get our bands in town. You can check us out there to see if we're going to be in y'all's town.
Yeah, man, for sure, definitely. And with your goals of recording in November, with the album release, give or take, aimed for March, based off just your personal interest in the matter, are you looking to stay completely active throughout that time as well, or are you kind of trying to take a little bit of time to just dedicate to recording?
Well, I think we do have one show in November and one show in December. Everything kind of freezes over on the East Coast, so not a lot going on. So I think it's perfect to take the time and to book shows for 2022, and just write the record, spend as much time on it as we can, because to me the music is what it's about. So spend as much time on the music. Definitely not half-assing it, for worse terms, I guess, better lack of terms. We want to spend as much time on the record as we can, to give people our best. So that's my answer to that one, I think.
Yeah, no problem, man. Do you feel any type of pressure going into this second album, since the long-standing talk in the music business is you've had your whole career to write the first album, so the second one becomes kind of tricky? How are you just kind of looking at the recording, just kind of going with the formulas, going by how you guys gel, and just kind of let the writing kind of speak for itself? What's kind of your vision for writing the new record?
Well, I think that I want it to be a different piece of each of us. So I'm not really nervous about it, because the guitar player that was on the last album, that was his first record. This is it's almost like you have that first record kind of mentality going into things, because you have a new guitar player, a new bass player, a new drummer. It's going to be a whole different sound. We're going to try to keep it. It's still going to be the same vein of music. We're not going to go left field with it like some people do. So my goal is to keep it, keep the same hooks, same writing style. I wrote all the lyrics and melody to all the songs. So I feel like, the next album is going to match this one really well, because we've taken the time out of the touring to, take advantage of Mother Nature freezing everything over, and just getting into the studio, writing the new record, and putting out something people are going to love. That's my goal, and I think that's what we'll achieve with the chemistry we have right now.
Nice, man. I love it. Absolutely. So as we're about to hit like the top of the hour and I'm about to kick it over to Bobby, I'm just going to take a quick second to first and foremost thank Chris and Tracy for Rockin Pod for letting us be available, having us involved, allowing the Metal Summit to, be one of the podcasts that's involved with Rockin Pod. We're really looking forward to all four of us getting out to Nashville, being in one place all together, because all of the fans so far have just kind of seen versions of the Metal Summit just kind of in pieces. So we're definitely looking forward to all getting out there. So we first want to thank Chris and Tracy for allowing us to be a part of that. And then second of all, we definitely want to thank Brad, Angie, and Dawn with BLE, who have, worked with us quite a bit, allowed us to cover the shows, work the shows, and be involved with everything that BLE stands for. So we definitely want to take a second to thank them as well. BLE is going to be at Rockin Pod as well, so definitely come out to support those guys as well. And Halloween weekend, Thursday the 28th to Saturday the 30th, Masquerade, different costume themes with Native Sons being part of that celebration. So definitely come out and support Rockin Pod, come out and support BLE, and come out and support Native Sons. So we really appreciate everybody being involved with that for sure. So let's kick it back to the man who's been taking over Nashville a lot lately, Bobby Dreyer.
So, real quick, Ashton, you guys have been compared a lot to early Black Crowes. I mean, how do you like that? I mean, which is, to me, is a hell of a compliment. But, it's a big weight to bear, too. So do your roots stem into the same thing that the Crowes did with a lot of the Stones, early Aerosmith, going that, kind of little gritty rock and roll, little, not playing by the rules?
Yeah, I would say that that my past career has definitely been that. I love the Black Crowes. The early stuff was great. I love early Aerosmith, so they got me there. It is a hell of a compliment. I will say, that's it's very humbling that people think that we have that kind of vibe. So it's really cool, I think.
And I love that you see a lot of the newer bands that are coming out. And, people bitch about Greta Van Fleet sounding so much like Zeppelin. What is it? Dirty Honey. Oh gosh, so many of the newer bands. Everybody's got, but I kind of love that. It's you guys who are really digging in and going into the roots of basically a guitar into an amp, a bass sounding like a bass, and a drum kit sounding like a drum kit. Not with a bunch of modeling, not with a bunch of I don't need drop P or whatever you're doing, or but just going out and just giving balls out rock and roll.
Yeah, I think it's really cool too. Like, I think my generation is tired of the autotune, and we're tired of the, backing tracks. I'll never use any backing tracks. That's
good.
It is cool to have the production side of it, and I definitely like putting on a show. And but I liked Jim Morrison's show. It was raw and it was real, and that's what I think my generation is trying to do. As far as rock music for Dirty Honey and Greta Van Fleet, stuff like that, it's not that they're stealing that sound. They're just it's what they were influenced by. Everything comes back around.
Of course, and it's to me it's a great tip of the hat seeing bands really gravitate to old Alice Cooper, old Sabbath. The things that made rock and roll. It's when you start adding all the schmutz on top. And sorry, Steve, I probably took one of your words, but it's all the crap on it. But going out and just giving a great rock show is. I think it beats anything that beats pyro and everything else. Just go out and give a hell of a show.
Yeah, I'd agree very much.
Very cool.
Absolutely, for sure. So, Bobby, let's keep it rolling with you, and I'm going to try to tie this into a question like towards you, based off what you've been seeing lately when it comes to the time you've been spending in Nashville. What do you think works well with Ashton and Native's sound for performing in that area? Yes, they're from Kentucky, but what, from your experience with that Nashville, kind of going from country to really having a lot of a rock influence, have you noticed that would work well?
The great thing I noticed, and Ashton, I got to tell you, you guys too, and one of my favorite heroes here in Nashville is Steve Earle. And I hear a little bit of Steve Earle in you, early Steve Earle in your stuff. And I think that's what people are digging. That's what's really cool about, everybody calls it new country. I called it, when I grew up, it was called Southern rock. But I'm really hearing some of the Molly Hatchet, guitars sounding like, a snozberry tasting like a snozberry, But I hear a Les Paul and I just go, what's a fucking Les Paul? You can tell the difference. And the neat thing is I spent today over at Gibson. And you sit in there and just everything that they're, that Gibson's done, JC, everybody, the guys over there, and the artists that they're working with. A good friend of mine and a good friend of the show, Nick Perry, who was Silvertide. Nick is in the same thing. He's got that 70s vibe going on, and it's just tremendous to see. But I see the industry also looking at that and going, they're playing instruments again. They're playing drums. So, I really think I got the neatest thing today, and they said during the pandemic, the biggest buyers of instrument were the female artists. They can't even keep Lizzie Hale's guitar in stock over at Gibson, which I think is, fucking kudos to that. And that's another thing. Would you guys go out on the road, double bill with a female band, or somebody like Mariah, who we had on the show with Plush, or talking to even somebody like a Lizzie going out with Hailstorm?
That'd be awesome. I'm not opposed to going out with different different styles of artists, because it's about people don't just listen to one form of music anymore. It's like your iPod's on shuffle. So like that's why Blackberry Smoke can go out with Metallica, can go out with these other guys. You'll see a mix of different people in different shows, and you're like, does that really mix? Well, they all have songs that people love, and most of them are the same fan base.
Is there a female?
It would definitely be good.
Is there any female artists that look, growing up, I've had the Hearts, the Joan Jets, the Chrissy Hines, but has there been a female-driven band that kind of excites you and charges you up?
Of a newer style of music.
Any, really. I mean, you can even dig into your parents' older album and go, oh, yeah, Ann Wilson took my ass. Or, I'd even go to, Janice.
I would say that it would be Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks was a unique voice for me. You know, her lyrics were a lot like you know, our album. Our album has a lot of mysticism to it. There's you know, I wrote a lot about the Key of Solomon. She writes a lot about you know, witchcraft and really being in tune with the earth and with yourself, and that's really cool. Plus, she had a unique voice.
Yeah.
So between the lyrics and the voice, it was just a complete package.
That's awesome. What a really neat, you know, is there one period of Stevie's that really made, you know, you brought up the whole belladonna thing, you know, you started, you know, I hear Rhiannon. As soon as you said that, I'm like going, I get it. But Stevie does have that thing. And then, but the cool thing is even the duet she did with Tom Petty was so badass.
Yeah, she had two duets with Tom Petty, and Edge of 17 was actually written about him and his wife, because she thought that they said we met at the age of 17, and he just had that southern accent. He said the age of 17, but she's from California, so.
Very cool. And would there ever be somebody, that female artist, that you would love to do a duet with?
Oh yeah, there's a few, I guess. You know, of course, besides Stevie Nicks and Janis Joplin, you know, because I can't really, you know, Janis has passed on, and Stevie, I'm not sure if she would do a duet with me. You know, she's kind of out of the music industry. She tours with, you know, her stuff, and guys like that can just kind of do their own thing. But I don't know. It would. There's a lot of different female artists out there right now that would be really cool. I guess it'd be one that would match my voice. I guess Lady Gaga. She does a lot of duet work. She was on Lucas Nelson's album.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga would be really cool. I would say that would be my top pick.
Very cool. Awesome.
That's
All right.
No, that's super duper cool for sure, man. Absolutely. Just having like those different influences from like all different like styles, whether it's from like, you know, the 70s, whether it's from something that's more heavy or edgy, or even just like that kind of female like influence and stuff like that. I mean, as long as I've been playing bass, I mean, one of my, you know, bass influences when I really started playing was Sean Easel from White Zombie and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, I still have my influences from people like, you know, Rachel from Skid Row and Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. But, you know, I love just that like style playing that Sean used to do when she was playing in White Zombie. And, you know, I don't swing my hips, but I love the way she was swinging her hips in the Thunder 65, Thunder Kiss 65 video. So definitely can't go wrong with that. But yeah, there's definitely, you know, something to be said for getting all those different influences from really all different perspectives, for sure, man. Angel, it's about that time to bring you back in, man. Yourself, the Metal Summoners.
Well, I definitely got a request from Susan. Let's do a cheers to everyone. I just want to say cheers to Native Sons. You guys are a great band. When I went to the Kick and Valentina show, I kept hearing about you. I was like, who the hell are these guys? I keep hearing about them, like, just walking around the venue. The name of your band kept coming up. And that's always an awesome thing when you're a band that I'm just covered, only know you by name, and I just keep hearing about you like at every table. So it kind of got me curious about the band. I just want to congratulate you on the band's success. Keep rocking. Don't pay attention to any negative naysayers on YouTube. They're just jealous. But just want to commend you, man. I mean, you have a great band. Definitely wishing you all the best and grateful that you're here spending your evening with us on the eve of Rockin Pot. I almost forgot the damn name. Can you believe that?
You better not.
I've been saying the name for all.
We're gonna get kicked off. We're gonna get kicked off the event.
I've been saying it all week.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, we got Matt Porter. What's that popcorn popping sound in the background? Well, that's me chewing gum. That's how I sound.
We're working on that, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah. And where the hell have you been?
Where are you, Matt Porter?
Are you in
Here
Nashville?
tomorrow.
Are you in Memphis? Alaska?
Actually, one thing real quick. Bobby, is that a Mammoth shirt? Is that Wolfie?
This was Wolfie.
Nice.
Yeah. Saturday, I had the opportunity to see Wolf with Guns at the opening of the DNR in Hershey Park, PA. Shout out to both bands. Hershey Park security, they need to be shit-lipped.
That's for a whole another episode there, sir.
But a great show. Wolfie last night kicked ass up in Boston. He's getting ready to play Saturday with Mariah in Ohio, which is going to be amazing at the Hard Rock in Cleveland.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, just that would be a really neat. I'd love to see you guys go out with Wolf. I mean, just what a fucking powerhouse band. And, you know, everybody goes, well, he doesn't sound like his dad. And I'm like going, yes, right. He shouldn't. You know, he's not his dad. I don't want to see him sound like his dad.
For sure.
Oh, that reminded me of my next question.
Sorry. Oh, go ahead, Angel.
My question to you is: do you ever get any comparisons to anybody, and how do you deal with that? Because we know that a lot of singers, they always get compared to somebody. It seems to be like a natural thing. But is there anybody that you particularly get compared with, and how do you handle that? Because I know everybody wants to be their own. Like you want to be Ashton Blake.
Yeah. I get compared to not the voice but the looks of Jared Leto. A lot of people come up to me and it's like, "Man, you look just like him." I'm like, I don't see it. I think he's a little shorter than I am. He might be. I don't know. But I get compared to I think Metals or Sleaze Rocks compared me to Whitesnake's singer.
Coverdale?
I think it's David Coverdale.
Well,
Yeah,
you know who I'm seeing just from your video here?
Like a stab at me. I was like,
your video here and what I'm seeing now
Yeah,
from
they
you
like-
look like a young Geddy Lee.
a young Geddy Lee.
Yeah, you know, like the early stages
that's a
of.
compliment. I mean, I don't take offense to.
But
I
I'm looking at like the early 2112 album.
I was kind of thinking that as well. But
It's
I have another quick question. It's a question about hair.
I don't get upset with people comparing me.
Okay. Here's a silly question, and I guess I'm just asking because I have long hair also. How do you maintain your hair?
Oh my God! I thought I was the only gay guy who asked beauty tips.
What? It's just, I mean, I'm 40. I mean, I'm almost 43. Pretty soon it's gonna start falling out. So I need hair tips too. You know.
I brought more product than anything else here.
Gosh, I asked a hair question. I asked one hair question, and I get hell. Sorry about that, Ashton.
I just wash it. It's there's not a I guess there's no real tips I could give anybody. I mean, I think that Dove soap is really good on your skin, and that the best shampoo I've had is a really Sauve. It's a really cheap one, and the more expensive ones kind of make my hair feel brittle. So I think it's different for everybody as far as hair products go. But whenever I open my own salon, you know, I'll put out a product and then people can buy that.
Well, Susan actually is in agreement with me. She was thinking the same thing. You know, gorgeous hair.
Thank you.
All I could think of, if anybody's ever seen it, is this Will Ferrell movie called Blades of Glory. It's about figure skating where he's
that was
talking about using like horse shampoo and like brushing his hair with like this special brush like 100 times. But anyway, before we get too far like out of whack when it comes to things, let me turn the kind of things back over to like Rockin Pot. So Ashton, going back to like Rockin Pod, besides your meeting the fans, doing your interviews and performing in the area, what is it about that weekend in Nashville and stuff that you're most looking forward to? Whether it's not just with meeting the fans or performing, are you looking to do any kind of like little getaways or check out any hot spots? Talk a little bit about what you'd like to do over the weekend.
Well, you know, to me, I've always been sort of business, but you know, I would say for Rockin Pod, I'm excited to meet. Except, you know, I used to cover some of their songs. As far as the city life, I don't really go on the main strip. You know, a lot of you know, as much as Nashville is a country music scene, it has a big rock scene as well on the other side of the strip or of the city itself that has a lot of rock bands. So I might try to check out, see what local bands playing, and see if anybody's, you know, that I know is playing, and if not, I'll try to go check out somebody who is, you know, an original band from there. That's probably in my plans. Well, we'll see what debauchery gets us into, you know.
Well, I know tonight downtown at the big arena down there, Matchbox 20 is playing tonight right now. So, but there are a couple, really cool little cool off spots. Third and Lindsley always has places. I think I got to check out a buddy of mine plays up here. He's like one of the. And there's a couple cool little rock rooms up here too. You know, they're divey, but they're fun. You know, and that's what makes them good.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man, for sure. So, do you have any? What exactly, when you're not on the road, Ashton, do you like to do? Do you find yourself more of kind of a homebody when you're not playing? Do you like to dedicate your time to just kind of writing music? Are you like a movies guy? Talk a little bit about yourself off the road.
You know, I guess off the road, you know, I kind of am a homebody. I try to get out and support others on their shows, but you know, Native Sons is usually traveling on the weekends and sometimes during the week. So I feel like I'm more in the bus than I am home. But you know, I play some video games. I watch movies. I like to chill out with my dog. I've got 2 dogs, a blue Doberman and a Jack Russell pit bull. She looks more like a Jack Russell than a pit bull, but you know, I like hanging out on the couch with them and just kind of staying home. If there's no, you know, if my buddies aren't playing in town, I'll kind of just stay home, play video games, watch movies. Yeah, I like to write books and read books as well. It's been a while since I've read a book, but you know, it's just not having time, you know, in between you know, shows and stuff like that. It seems like I'm always doing something, but you know, I like to spend a lot of time at home.
Nice, man. That's awesome for sure. No, I definitely understand that. Like, I'm actually a big reader myself that I really never get to do because if I'm, you know, because I'm either at work or I'm out like supporting shows or I'm, you know, working the show with the guys. But I definitely understand that because I love to read. But the only chance I really get to ever do it is when I'm traveling, either touring or on flights and stuff. So that's actually something that I'm actually really looking forward to about coming to Rockin Pod, because I'm going to be on a plane for a couple of hours. So it's going to allow me to bury my face in a book. But I'm also going to be on the plane with Brad Lee. So I'm sure that the two of us aren't going to shut the fuck up. We're probably just going to keep talking and stuff like that. But if I get the opportunities, I get to bury my face in a book. And I actually really look forward to that for sure. So That's definitely super duper cool. So fans, just to let you guys know, it is last call for alcohol. It is your final opportunity to put questions and comments in.
Yeah,
Angel
my
to
belly's
ask.
getting empty.
You're getting, so that Bobby's getting empty. Is Bobby almost dry?
Bobby needs to go hit the bar. The bar's getting packed.
But yeah, so guys, it is last call for alcohol, fans. Get those final comments, the final love to Ashton, and the final questions in so we can ask him as soon as I kick it over to Angel. Besides being, kind of more of a relaxing guy, when you're at home, Ashton, you were talking about like liking to write books. Are you like working on something like that? Are you writing like stories, like poetry, like nonfiction, or an autobiography? Was there anything in particular that you can shed some light on with that comment?
Well, whenever I was younger, I started writing this fantasy book, and it was like stories that tied into each other. You know, one would be about knights. I like medieval culture and medieval history. It was really cool how the simplest things that we would think would not be magic, they thought were mystery. It was mysticism to them. I think my favorite quote from a movie actually was in Pirates of the Caribbean, when they Barbossa was like, the world's getting smaller, and Jack Sparrow said to him that the world's not getting smaller, mate. There's just less in it. So it was like there was a lot of mysticism and mystery to the world. So I feel like I would say from medieval history to like when America was still exploring, and in the early 19th century with the cowboys all the way up to the 1920s. So it was a little bit about everything as far as fantasy goes, but I might relieve, maybe not. So just depends.
For sure, man. Absolutely. I'm also getting a little bit of chuckle when you were talking about Pirates of the Caribbean and the fact that you were talking quotes and that you like to drink rum. I was like, oh, please let him say his favorite quote is, "But why is the rum gone?" Is there any like? Are there any like?
I would
Oh
say
no, go ahead, brother.
My favorite part of history was pirate. I was gonna say my favorite part of history was pirates, and the way that everything kind of, all of the history kind of just was a domino effect, even to the 1776. Pirates held a lot of their code was pretty much what we built our society out of. It's like everyone, a captain wasn't a captain because he owned the ship. He was a captain because his crew made him, and they voted on it. And if you were voted out, it was a vote for death. Like you had to like kill each other to become captain. So it was like a democracy almost. So it was really cool to do the studying on, Calico Jack and different guys that were in that era of Nassau.
Sure, definitely. And that's actually kind of an interesting comparison, because when you bring up like pirates and history and that kind of stuff, the funny thing about it is there's actually really not a big discrepancy or major difference between pirates and the music business when it comes to bands, because it's that same kind of like coming in, performing, pillage, destroy, leave your mark behind, and leave everything in ruins, so that you're kind of like, but you always got to leave that one person to tell the story. And when it comes to bands, you want to leave a lot of people behind to tell the story. But I feel like there's a lot of that same kind of come in and destroy mentality when it comes to bands and live music that wasn't that far off from pirate life.
Yeah, it's definitely has the same kind of band of brothers kind of mentality to it, and you're all going out there seeking that treasure, so to say, as far as not really fame, but just like you said, leaving the fans behind with your name in their mind.
No, for sure, definitely. Just gonna definitely leaving like your mark on like that lobe for sure, 100%. Bobby, let's kick it down to you, brother, for sure.
So, with you guys being here, are you gonna? You said you're going to see the bands and this and that, but look, we've all been downtown in Nashville, and like you said, it really turned into the wedding scene party. Are you more of a hotel hang person, or are you more like, I got to go find a hot spot to go? Or,
I'm more of a hotel person. I don't like to go out, and I don't know. It's like I probably will while I'm there because I just like to be well rested for the next day. There's not a lot of time in between shows. It's like usually I like to watch all the bands that we play for. Like we open up for them. I watch the openers and I watch the headlining acts. So I'm usually pretty exhausted by the end of the night. I don't just go back to the hotel room. I'm right there in the crowd, because I'm a lover of music and I like to support others in their conquest in music. It's about, for me, it's about making connections with people and supporting them in what we all do. So I would have to say by the end of the night, I'm pretty much in my hotel room.
Very cool. So we'll get to hang with you here, which is going to be great. Good. Cocktails on Angel.
There you go.
Well, he already lost his bet to Candy, so he's going to have to be sliding out a few bills in order to take care of losing that bet for sure.
Hey, dinner with Candy. So.
Hey man, no argument here. You get it, boy. Absolutely, for sure. So Ashton, since you're going to be up at Rockin Pot, and then of course when you were at the BLE show and when you're out on tour and stuff like that, you've always got merch, the album, shirts, and stuff like that. Are you bringing some stuff to Rockin Pot for fans to be able to purchase if they wanted to get some Native Son stuff?
Yeah, I'll bring all of our merch. I don't know if I'm not sure what we're allowed to sell or what it all entails. I'm sure they'll let us know when we get there. But I want to have some stuff to give away to people. As far as stickers and posters and stuff like that. But so yeah, I guess I want to bring some stuff for people to be able to buy. And I think Bill Chavis will have our record. We actually sold out of all of the physical copies that we had at Rock the Block. We had probably about 5 left after the Nebraska run. So, we don't have any physical copies of the CD yet. Bill Chavis will probably bring those with him. So you can probably buy our album at the Highball Music table. But if you want anything else as far as Native Sons goes, we got T-shirts and stuff like that. You can come out and we'll sign it for you guys. It'd be really cool to be able to push some merch out the doors and get some people wearing some Native Sons stuff. You could buy it from Montauk Mountain.
Absolutely, man, for sure. Well, Angel, let's kick it to you to kick off our final round the table segment before we let Ashton enjoy his evening. So, question from yourself and anything left over from our beloved Metal Summoners.
No, I'm just thinking how cool I would look in a Native Son shirt.
I really would thought you'd look great in a 2-piece, but I'm not going to say.
Oh, they're gonna have to pay extra for that. Probably, that.
Oh, stop, Angel. You know how we are on the Metal Summit. Nobody pays extra. Dick is free.
That is true. And hell, I'm single.
And there's websites for that.
Yeah. Well, why do the website? Hey, Jay had some pussy come across.
Angel, look, we got to have a Daisy Duke night here.
Of course.
Exactly. Okay, Bobby stepped away. Angel, keep us on track. Oh,
Ripped
God.
jeans. Oh gosh, poor Ashton. It's like, hurry up, let's get the show over with. I forgot, I got another thing to do.
Speaking of that, where's the view? Oh, he's in bed. He's got to get up early.
Yeah, well, we all gotta get. Well, not me. I'm
I got up early today. I got up at 4.
damn.
Angel, let me steer it back to you, buddy.
But it's only
Oh.
9:25 here.
Yeah, you're on Central Time. Okay, let's get to somebody that's on Eastern Time. Kim Sullivan, who also writes for Ballbuster Music. Awesome interviews coming up. Sorry, had to plug that because I also write for Ballbuster Music. Kim wants to know, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Huh. You know, seeing into the future, you have many things that could be and many things that might be. So it's like, there's I see myself in several different places, I guess. If we continue on our track and everybody loves the album as much as Maryland and some of the other places we went to does, then I would see us probably touring with Dirty Honey or touring with Greta Van Fleet. Some people that are in our age realm as far as doing music in the new era. South of Eden, we've already played a show with them, but so I guess it's really I guess it would go back to that thing I was talking about, as far as climbing that mountain. So I'm just going to keep climbing the mountain, and we'll see where I end up.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, back to you, Jay.
Go ahead. Hey, no problem, man. Well, Ashton, man, we can't thank you enough for having, spending some time with us this evening, man. I mean, it's been really, really insightful. We had such a good time talking to you. We're all big supporters of what you do, both personally and professionally. Our big thing has always been like, our value, like to you, we work for you guys, and we always take a lot of pride in that. You had a good time, that you got a few laughs out of it, but you also felt that your evening, it was worth your time. You liked your questions, you liked your interview, and that you felt that this was worth your time.
Oh, it definitely was, man. I would have talked to you guys for a few more hours. Y'all are pretty funny, and y'all had some
we're gonna have a great
questions.
time.
I really top favorite interview of a long time. So it's
Yes.
I'm looking forward to Rockin Pot, and this is a great kickoff to Rockin Pot, man. It's
Awesome,
couldn't have
man.
been a better
For sure.
interview. Thank you for having me so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely, dude. No problem. And reach out to us at any time, man, for any reason, dude. We're super duper stoked to keep you guys on the fast track to wherever it is you need to be, man. And even if it's just something small, like, hey, we've got this little thing that we would love to push a little bit harder. Well, you just send it to us and we'll put it out there, man. But Ashton, we love what you do, man. Thank you so much to Bill Chavis as well for helping us set this up. But thanks so much, man, for giving us some of your evening, brother. We really appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, no problem. Well, travel safe. Have a fucking killer show with Lily and Axe, dude. We know that you're absolutely going to slay it. And we'll see you on Friday and definitely on Saturday for Rockin Pod. So, fans, make sure that you guys get out there. Anybody that's watching that's down in the Georgia area, Atlanta area, get out to the show tomorrow to support Ashton, support Lily and Axe, all those guys. Steve Blaze is fantastic. We love what he does as well. But, get some love out there to Native Sons and everything. They may not have any physical copies of their CD, but we expect you guys to buy everything else that they have. So, send them up to Rockin Pod with a pocket full of money. That's what we're asking from you.
Yep.
But we really appreciate everybody for always watching the show. Thank you guys all so much. You know how much we love you guys. We'll make our next guest announcement on Friday. And as you guys know, next week on Wednesday, we'll be talking all about how everything went at Rockin Pod. We'll have a brand new guest. We're definitely going to have a lot to talk about. So we really look forward to having our episode next week with you guys. But support Ashton, support Native Sons. Get out to Rockin Pod. Get out to any type of live music where you can support him. So for Bobby Dreyer, for Psycho Steve, for Angel Allen, I'm Jay. And again, Ashton, thank you so much, brother. We appreciate it, and we hope you have a fantastic evening, man.
All right, guys.
I'll see you.
Absolutely. Bobby, have a great time at the bar. Angel, get a little bit of rest.